Hello everybody, hope you're having a good evening so far. So I haven't been able to do Outer Wilds the last couple days because I've been busy with other stuff, and I just haven't had time, but we'll get back into it tonight. I mean, basically at this point, I don't think there's hardly anything left to explore. I mean, really the only question marks left on the ship log are the vessel and the Orbital Probe Cannon, the modules that got destroyed in the explosion that occurs at the beginning of every loop. So at this point, I think we're probably mostly past the exploration phase, and now we're on to the like figuring shit out phase, basically. Whoops. So the thing is, I think I need to figure out how to get the sun station to do what it's supposed to do. It had no effect on the sun. It concluded the sun station could never cause the sun to go supernova. It's a failure, then took a break to investigate. So I'm probably going to have to do some reading to try and figure out how to do this. Our sun has reached the end of its natural life cycle. Now, sun station, Ash Twin Towers, Ash Twins Equator. White hole station was used model for these towers. Oh, I didn't know, like, this was a thing. There's a way to safely travel to... Yeah, we know that. Well, yeah, safely travel. Because you have to get through the goddamn cactus shit to get to it. Building a sun station or to power the Ash Twin project. Wait, let me look at that again. Called a gnome show from the quantum moon. My heritage. Wait, where was this again? Tower... That's on Giants. Oh, yeah, that's right. Um, okay. Okay. Well, bro. Hello? Can I skip, please? Thank you. Why is it? You have got to be shitting me here. It's not even letting me use my mouse now. Okay, hold on. Let me try. Shit. Okay, now it's letting me use my mouse. Okay. Jesus. I don't know, like... This is the second time my headset has done this now, where it only lets me use it for like 5 minutes and then it dies. Like, I don't fucking understand. But I guess we're just gonna have to move on now to Chaos Head Noah. So yesterday, to give a recap of what happened yesterday,
おっと、時間か。今のところテストに出るからな。ちゃんとノート書いておけよ。今日はここまで。
oh shit. So yeah, yesterday, Takumi noticed a girl following him on his way to school. And then after school, he went to at cafe, the net cafe, that he frequents, and he found the same girl there as well. And then at that point he just got so scared that he just left at like right there without finishing the game he was playing. And then even as he was trying to run back home, he noticed that she was following him. And as he was trying to run away from her, he ran into a scooter and hurt his leg or his ankle or something, and fell to the ground. And then the girl caught up to him and offered to help him get back to his home. So she kind of, I guess, not really carried, but like, helped him get back on his feet and walk back to his place. And she took him all the way into the shipping container that he lives in. And then they got kind of in a conversation about his figures and the anime that he likes and stuff. And I don't know, he was kind of I don't know. He like couldn't make up his mind if he should be wary of this girl or if he was like falling in love with her. I don't know. It was weird. And um and she asked him if if he would accompany her to the store to reserve this new figure that was coming out. And he decided that he would go ahead and do it. And then she left after that. And now we're back to another day where he is going into school. So that's where we left off.
起立礼
The math teacher. What was their name again? Well, it didn't matter. He left the room and the school day came to an end. The other students were all talking about where to go after school, or heading off to their clubs or teams. Most of them immediately got ready to go home. Normally, as soon as the last chime rung, I would put my things together and go home. But today, I stayed in my seat, trying my best not to look at any of the other students. Today, I was meeting Yua. Yeah, so that's the girl that he was with the day before. Normally, a date with a girl would be a wick-tick situation. Okay, I do have no freaking clue. Mid-2000s Japanese net slang for hopeful and excited. Okay. But for me, for today, it was just depressing. My nerves were all jittery, my stomach hurt. I'd never agreed to go anywhere with a girl, and I didn't know what to do. Would she even come? Maybe the whole thing yesterday was a prank and she was watching me from the shadows and laughing, I thought. In a way, that might be better than if she actually did come. Wait, did I even need to wait for her at all? Couldn't I just ditch her and go home? Yeah, that was the way. She was in a different grade than me anyway. If I ditched her here, we'd never meet again. I made my decision and stood up. Bro, he's backing out. Someone slapped me on the back hard. I didn't need to turn around to see who it was. The only person in the class weird enough to talk to me was Misumi.
お前帰らないのか？いつもならチャイムが鳴ると同時に消えるのによ。俺密かに匠の音速直帰って名付けてたんだぜ。もう帰るよ。誰か待ってるとか。え？
How did you know?
なんだよ、図星かよ。どうして？なんだかやけにそわそわしてたからな。教室の入り口をさっきから何度も気にしてるし。
He was perceptive, but I needed to be careful with what I said. Don't forget, Takumi, your goal is to stand out at school as little as possible. You have to be like the air itself.
別に誰も待ってないよ。
そうか？だったら今の間はなんだよ。
それは。
Crap. Misumi wasn't a bad guy, but he could be really annoying at times like this. Read the room, jerk. Phrase commonly used. I don't think read the room, I mean, I don't know. I definitely wouldn't say that was a exclusive to Japanese otaku.
西条くん
My whole body froze. I turned toward the voice, feeling sheer terror. Yua was standing timidly at the door. Oh no. Thanks to Misumi, I lost my chance to run away.
おい、なんだりゃ。どういうことだ？
It might have been the first time I'd seen Misumi freak out like this. He wrapped an arm around my shoulder, pulled me in close, and looked me in the eye.
おい、タク、どういうことか説明しろよ。お前の彼女か？
違うよ。
I told him 1,000 times that I didn't have any interest in 3D girls.
だったら何なんだよ。言っとくが、タクの姉ちゃんとかそういうオチは期待してねえからな。引きこもりのくせに何をどうやったらあんないい女と知り合えるんだ。
昨日急に付きまとわれて。
そりゃつまりあれか？逆難されたってことか？え？この
He grabbed me by the jaw and shook me for a second before finally letting me go.
そうか。世の中には物好きってのもいるんだな。けどタクがまともな性癖を持ってたみたいで少し安心したぜ。
性癖って、それに彼女とは別に何も。
そうかそうか。頑張れよ、タク。
Misumi wasn't listening to me. He was all excited now and slapping my back harder than before. Ugh. He was definitely teasing me.
安心しろって。お前の女を寝取ったりしねえから。
だからそういう関係じゃ。
ほら、さっさと行けよ。彼女、お待ちかねみたいだぜ。
He pushed me in her direction, and I began to slowly walk forward. I guess I didn't get to run away after all.
迎えに来たの迷惑でした？
いや。
It sure as hell was. Oh my god, dude. I looked back at Misumi and he was grinning and giving me the finger. I couldn't tell if he was cheering me on or trying to start a fight. There was no point in trying to deal with him anymore, so I decided to just leave the school.
すいません。昨日会ったばかりなのにこんなお願いをしてしまって。
いや。
I was really nervous. Me, leaving school with a girl, like a Raiju, like a popular kid. I thought this was a world I'd never have anything to do with. Okay, I really don't know what Raiju is. Someone whose real life is fulfilling and fun. Okay. I never thought it would happen to me. But right now, there seemed to be an intense aura radiating from her. We were just walking side by side. Why did I feel so nervous? I still didn't know who she was or what she wanted. What would she want with a creepy otaku like me?
おとといの。
いや。
She started talking out of nowhere, so I got surprised and said something weird sounding. She seemed to be nervous too. Her expression was tense. She was older than me, but actually quite innocent. It was pretty moe. Not that I could do much more than glance at her every so often. I was too embarrassed to look her in the eye.
おとといのブラチュー見ましたよね。
うん。
私一箇所だけいまいちよくわからないところがあったんですけど、すすむくんがセイラちゃんのピンチに駆けつけてきて助けてくれますよね。でもどうしてすすむくんはセイラちゃんが危ないって分かったのかなって。
あれは先週の回に伏線があったんだ。セイラの携帯が鳴ってるシーンが一瞬だけ挿入されてて、着信表示で進むの名前が出てる。
そういえばそんなシーンありましたね。
山田君はそういう細かい伏線をあちこちに貼るのが好きなんだ。キンゴルでも似たようなことをやってた。
山田くキンゴル？
山田君っていうのはブラチューの監督の愛称だよ。で、山田君がブラチューの前に監督やってたアニメがキンゴル。
へえ、じゃあ山田さんって有名な監督さんなんですね。
まあ僕は好きな方かな。なんでかっていうと、
I started lecturing her on anime, and the next thing I knew, we were at Animate. Sorry. We'd gotten here much faster than I expected. I'd gotten really excited and talked too much again. Yua was a great listener. Whenever I showed off some random piece of knowledge, she'd act really interested. I knew this whole thing was a trap, but I kept talking anyway. I'm so bad at speaking, and this had never happened before. It felt like chatting online. It was kind of weird.
なんだかドキドキしてきました。先に帰ったりしないでくださいね。
うん。
She went up to the clerk with an expression of intense nervousness on her face and ordered the Seira post-awakening version figure. All I did was stand back and watch. I kept looking for a chance to run away, but she kept shooting nervous glances at me, and I couldn't move. Afterward, at her request, I showed her around the store. She was happy to find all kinds of things she might want to buy, but I didn't have the energy left to smile back at her. Yua came to school by train, so I was forced to go with her to Shinsen Station. She might look like an airhead, but she wasn't. Whenever she wanted something, she knew just how to make me give it to her. Black. She was a black character. More net slang. Person with a black-hearted personality. She suddenly asked me that just as we got to the station. A phone, huh? I shook my head, slightly sad.
持ってないんですか。それじゃ連絡が取れないですね。
連絡
Contact me for what? Are you going to keep bugging me instead of leaving me alone?
でも西条くんパソコン持ってましたよね。私も持ってるから メールアドレスを交換しませんか？
どうして？
そのフィギュアの発売日に取りに行かなくちゃいけませんよね。その時にまた一緒に。まだ一人でアニメ8に行く勇気はないから。
Clever.
それに
She was a clever one.
私、西条くんと。
I knew it, but I couldn't say no. If I did, I'd be the bad guy here.
もっと
3D girls were truly terrifying.
仲良くなりたいから。
Was it just that I wasn't used to talking to people? Or was she just a master persuader? It felt like she wasn't going to go home until I gave her my email address. And yet, she seemed nervous as she looked up at me from behind her glasses. For some reason, I felt my will to resist draining away. My skin felt clammy, and a cold chill was running down my spine. But I couldn't run away or say no. There was something strange about Yua, something that wasn't normal. I couldn't explain what exactly wasn't normal about her, but she definitely wasn't normal. The next thing I knew, I'd written my email address on a scrap of notebook paper and handed it to her. She looked happy as she took it, then bowed and disappeared into the station. I stood there for a solid 10 minutes with a blank look on my face, like my soul had drained out of my body. Nightheart, what would you think about a girl like that? Nightheart, I don't know what to do. Nightheart, I mean, it feels like she's up to something. Nightheart, she has to be. Nightheart, hey, are you listening? Grim, what's the name of this H game? That night, I asked Grim about Yua. It felt like I wasn't getting anywhere on my own. But that was the answer I got. To be fair, this was the same reaction I had the first time I talked to her. Nightheart, I was an idiot to ask you in the first place. Grim, wait, LOL, you're serious? Man, you're such a lucky bastard. Grim, I didn't think you had it in you. Grim, I thought you said you weren't even into 3D girls. Nightheart, it's not like that. Grim was reacting just like Misumi. Maybe the two of them were actually the same person. Grim, well, guys like you, Nightheart, who've never dated a girl in your life, Grim, often quit being otaku the minute you get a girlfriend. Grim, your girlfriend's not gonna like those 10-minute monologues about school swimsuits. I mean, really.
メールだよ、ボケナス。
Nightheart, what's wrong with monologues about school swimsuits? Grim, this guy's a goner. Somebody needs to do something about him. Huh? I just heard Seraton's voice. I'd set that voice to play whenever I got an email. I looked over at my inbox and the sender's name was Yua Kusunoki.
うわ、早速来た。
Nightheart, I got an email. Nightheart, just now. Grim, hooray! An email from a 3D girl. I'd never gotten one before. I gulped and opened it. Hello, this is Yua Kusunoki. Sorry for sending you an email out of the blue like this. It would make me very happy if you saved my email address in your contacts list. Sorry. What? I don't know what this is supposed to mean. For bringing you along with me today. Oh, is that supposed to be like a bowing emoji, I guess? I swear, man. But it made me very happy. Maybe because I'd never been to a store like that before. Or I think it was because I was with you, maybe? LOL. What time are you coming to school tomorrow? Oh, the reason I'm asking is I want to say hello in the morning. Kinda. Yeah, they don't have a way of... I hope we run into each other tomorrow, even if it's just by chance. Bye. I'll send you another email later. Good night. You could sense her elegance and feminine... I think it's supposed to be femininity, right? Anyway, coming off the page, but the emojis also made her feel friendly and approachable. But it was because I was with you, Nishijo, and I want to say hello in the morning. It felt like she might be plotting something. Grim, show me what it said. Nightheart, it's totally normal. Oh, he just typed the entire email. Grim was being obnoxious, so I decided to type in the whole message for him. Of course, I didn't type in our personal information. Grim. Grim, what is this? It feels like she's head over heels for you. Grim. Die in a fire, Nightheart. Nightheart, help me out here, man. Nightheart, it's some kind of trap. Grim. Right. It's all a big conspiracy. Grim. You're overthinking things, aren't you? Grim. It sure looks like she's into you. Grim. You're almost at the good ending. Nightheart. I mean, this is impossible. Nightheart. I'm a creepy otaku. Nightheart. Why would a cute girl from the real world want to date me? Grim. LOL, dude, you're just bragging now. Nightheart. Help me out here. Grim. Calm down. You're just overthinking things. Grim. She and you have a lot in common, right? Grim. There aren't many nice girls like that left. I knew that, but she was too nice. It was creepy. Grim. I mean, the stalker stuff at the start was a little much, Grim, but that just goes to show, Grim, how much she likes you, right? Grim, she's an anime fan, right? Grim, She's like the ideal girlfriend, Grim. For an otaku, anyway. Grim. Get her to go along with all your weird-ass fantasies. That actually sounded pretty appealing. No, no, no. That was just what she wanted me to think. Grim, she came on to you. Be grateful. Nightheart,
そうだけど。
I'm not into 3D girls. Grim, yeah, right. You want to date her really badly, right? Grim, this is your chance to stop being an otaku. Grim, you'll never get another chance like it. I'm sure of it. Oh, yeah. Grim, this is your chance. Grim, stop being a wimp and go for it. Grim, be like Nightheart, but in the real world. Grim, go for it. If only I could, life would be so much easier. Talking to her today and the day before taught me that. It could be fun and make me happy, but it was also exhausting and a pain in the butt. If it was that hard, I'd be better off living a peaceful, relaxing life with 2D girls. So I decided not to answer Yua's email. The fire was burning. Long tongues of flames danced within the incinerator. Inside it, a sailor uniform and several textbooks were being burnt to ash. A house in the foothills, overlooking the Seto Inland Sea. In the distance, you could hear the whistles of the ships. A salt breeze gently shook the trees around the house. Despite her idyllic surroundings, the small girl in front of the incinerator, Kozue Orihara, was in a miserable state. Her eyes reflected the red light of the fire as she watched the sailor uniform and textbooks burn to ash in the incinerator. Until yesterday, that had been her uniform, and those had been her textbooks. She was the one who had put them in the incinerator, but she must have still felt some attachment to them, because she kept staring at them. Suddenly, she winced in pain and put her hands tightly over her ears. She opened her mouth, but that was all she could do. She couldn't moan or cry. All she could do was gasp for breath. She kept shaking her head as if begging for something to stop. Then she collapsed, falling onto the ground. She looked up, exhausted, at the sky. She stayed there, unmoving, for several minutes. And then, suddenly, she turned around. She was staring at the house's veranda. The house was made of wood and over 50 years old. Even though it was still daytime, much of the veranda was shrouded in deep shadow, leaving it in darkness. She slowly staggered up and walked toward it. Just then, her mother appeared, as if she'd been waiting.
あら、梢ちゃん、探してたのよ。もう荷物の整理はできたの？
Kozue nodded and sat on the veranda.
あさってにはもうこの家ともお別れなのね。
Her mother stood behind her and looked at the peaceful Seto Sea.
東京なんて行くの、梢ちゃんは初めてよね。 いいお友達ができるといいわね。
Kozue didn't reply to her mother's kind words. She didn't shake her head or nod. She just stared sadly at the incinerator in the corner of the yard and the flames that still rose from it. It was a week after, on a school day. As usual, I headed to school in a gloomy mood, staring down at my feet as I went. Fall was clearly at hand. The trees in Chateau Park were changing colors, and I was starting to feel cold in my short-sleeved shirt. Since I spent almost all my time in my room, it always felt strange when the seasons changed like this. It still felt like summer to me. I'd spent the whole weekend playing ESO. Grim kept asking about Yua, but I just ignored him. Yua hadn't sent me any more messages. Maybe she'd given up when I hadn't replied. I certainly hoped so. Whenever I talked to her, I always felt myself wavering. I started to feel hope. But there was no point in a creepy otaku like me having hope. I lived my whole life without ever having hope fulfilled. That's why I lost interest in 3D girls. Please don't make me hope. Please don't have any hopes for me. Suddenly, someone patted me on the shoulder from behind. I turned around expecting to see Nanami or Misumi, but was surprised.
西条くん
Her cheeks were a little flushed, and she was smiling at me. For some reason, she was out of breath.
後ろ姿が見えたからもしかしたら西条くんかなって思って走って追いかけちゃいました。
Hadn't she given up? Did she still have hopes for me?
おはようございます西条くん。やっと言えました。土日を含めて4日もかかってしまいましたけど。先週メールを送ったんですけど、読んでもらってます？
By the time I realized I'd nodded, it was too late.
よかった。返事がなかったからてっきり届いていないかと思って何度か送り直そうとしたんですけど、我慢しておいて正解でした。
What did she want me to do? Was I supposed to fall in love with her? Be her boyfriend? And then, were we supposed to be a happy, loving couple? Impossible. That kind of thing was for other people, not me. I wanted to do it, but there was no way I could. I still didn't understand why Yua liked me anyway. I couldn't trust her. So it was just impossible.
西条くん、どうしたんですか？
え？
ずっと立ち止まってるので。
I started walking fast to leave her behind, but she jogged to catch up with me.
昨日西条くんのクラスに行ったんですけど、いませんでしたよね。もしかして風邪でもひいて休んでるんじゃないかと思って心配だったんです。でも元気そうでよかった。
たまにしか。
はい。
僕たまにしか学校来ない。みんなから引きこもりって思われてる。
You're disgusted, aren't you? You learned who I really am, and now you don't like me anymore, right? That's fine. I never expected anything in the first place. Go ahead. Think I'm creepy, and then just leave me alone.
そうですか。でも今日は会えてよかったです。
I didn't know how to react to that. I found myself staring into her smile. Our eyes met, and then I quickly lowered my gaze. Why wasn't she treating me like she thought I was creepy?
っていうか、たまにでも学校に来てるなら、西条くんは引きこもりじゃないと思います。すいません。分かったようなこと言っちゃって。
でも苦痛だよ。
だとしたら偉いです。
え？
That wasn't something I ever expected to hear. What was impressive about a loser like me? Yua smiled gently at me. It was a smile that could heal a wounded heart. That's how it felt to me.
だって西条くんは辛いのに頑張って学校に来ていますから。普通なら普通は来られないですよ。
でも僕はオタだしキモいし。
私西条くんの話を聞くの好きですよ。
What? Why was she telling me all this? Why did it feel so good? It felt like she was holding me in a warm embrace. Or like she was telling me that it was okay for me to be here. Maybe with her help, I could go back to being a normal person.
大変予例ですよ。
Suddenly, I realized that there were barely any students left around us. They'd all gone inside the school building.
西条くん、それじゃあ私失礼します。あ、今日の放課後時間ありますか？
え？
もしよかったら一緒に帰りましょう。
She spoke softly, her cheeks turning a little red.
放課後中庭で待ってます。もし気が向いたら来てください。あ、無理に来なくても全然平気ですから。失礼します。
She bowed politely and headed off to the third year wing. As I watched her go, I pinched my cheek. Just as I thought, this wasn't a dream or a delusion. I spent the whole day's worth of classes in a daze. I don't think I heard a single thing the teachers said. I just rested my chin on my hand and stared out at the autumn sky. Neither my classmates nor the teachers paid the slightest bit of attention to me. But Yua paid attention to me. She wasn't like the rest of those assholes. I sat there the whole day, thinking about her and indulging in one delusion after another, and before I knew it, school was over.
よタク、今日もデートか？この前のメガネのことはうまくいってるんだろうな。おいおい、ニートだからって躊躇してんなよ。向こうがお前のこと気に入ってくれてんなら、付き合うか付き合わないかはともかくやっちまうのが礼儀。
そんなことしないよ。
おい、なんだよいきなり大声出して。
ユアとはそんなことしない。
あ？お前まだ言ってんの？なんで最初から諦めるんだよ。そろそろ引きこもりから卒業しようぜ。
僕は引きこもりじゃない。
That's not what I meant, anyway. Misumi only cared about sleeping with girls. He wouldn't understand. I ran past a confused-looking Misumi and quickly left the classroom. Ugh. Ugh. Alright guys, I am actually like really tired. So I think I'm just gonna turn in a little earlier than usual tonight. Yeah. All right. Well, so today was the last orchestra performance for the year, so well, I should okay, I'm sorry, let me back up. It was, I guess, the last thing I'm doing with the orchestra for the year. So no more rehearsals until next year. So I will be able to stream on Monday nights, at least for the next month or so. So I will be back tomorrow night. Hopefully my headset won't fucking die on me again. And we'll do Outer Wilds, followed by Chaos Head. So thanks for tuning in, and have a good night.